Hi everyone. BCA-101. This is day 10. 2817. Intro to computers. Today we talked about productivity software. So we can manipulate text with some type of word processing software. There's also publishing software and other means, but in general we call it word processing. Get a document to say what you want to say and then make it so it's readable or presentable or easy to read and so forth, or hard to read depending on what you want to accomplish. The next thing we'll be talking about after we get done with word processing, so in about another week, we'll go through analysis of data. How do we look at data, make changes, and see what the results are? We do that in a spreadsheet. Some people will use spreadsheets to hold data or do calculations, but the power of it comes in doing some type of analysis where you can adjust the data and see the results. If you're just going to store data, then use a database. Store it, create lots of ways to access the data. So this is a great example of taking data and producing information out of that data. And nowadays this can be done through the web. In fact, it is done a lot through the web. In some situations you have to take the data and the information and you need to present it to a group, more or less to sell an idea or to promote something and so forth. So we don't spend a lot of time, but we just talk a little bit about presentations, and then we also talk about more so later on how to present data graphically. Take data and make some kind of chart to better get a view on what that data is doing. And we do that in the spreadsheets area. So really, this whole software here, this tends to be what we call horizontal software, and you can use it in any business or environment, depending on what you want to do. Okay, we refer to it as productivity software, but because it should make our lives more productive. Not always. Yeah. Then what we were going to do, what we did in class, was we took an open source package, productivity software, and we downloaded it and installed it in comparison to a proprietary like Microsoft Word, or more in general Microsoft Office. We looked at some other packages that were open source. Okay. So we took a look at booting to another system. So we computers in the lab have two operating systems. So we have the option to boot to Windows 8 instead of Windows 10. So what we did was we restarted the computer and then it found that operating system out here on the hard drive. We told it to go Windows 8 and it brought that operating system into memory. Okay, now the computers get their individual IP address from a DHCP server. So that server actually gives an address to each machine. Okay, so each machine can be identified. Now, in some of the labs for Windows 8, the students set a static address. So what we taught the students today was how to go in and set that so it's looking at a DHCP address. Okay, logging into Active Directory when we log into Windows 10. But since we're logging into Windows 8, we have to check for that. So we went over it. Then we took a look at our open source software, and we set up to download the 64-bit software. Okay, install it on the hard drive, and then we'll be able to use that to demo the difference, or comparing that to Microsoft Office, which we use in class. So we have a couple examples for the Mac. Microsoft Word, our students can download the Microsoft Office 365 and have it for 4 years free. This was the package we downloaded in class, and this is another option. And there are others, but these are the ones that we looked at. So the process was, we logged in as this user with this password on the Windows 8 operating system. Okay, and then we looked at it. We downloaded it. We practiced then a download and an install, and then we looked a little bit at the package. In learning, we should learn the basics of how something works, so then when we look at it more specific, that should be an IALY, more specifically, we learn how to manage any situation. Okay? And that's our goal. So we learn X, Y, Z. Then when we only have X, Y, we can figure out, we get the ability to learn and adjust for the other situation. And that's how you should learn technology, because technology will change over time. That's it.